On this week's show, DI in Space, the new Toy Box Hub, and news on Disney Infinity 3.0 figures. All this and more in Inside Infinity episode number 90.
What's up, guys? This is John Vignacchi, executive producer on Disney Infinity, and you are listening to Inside Infinity, the first official Disney Infinity podcast on the net.
Hello everyone, welcome to Inside Infinity episode number 90, recorded on May 24th, 2015. I'm one of your two hosts, Will Kelly, and joining me as always, Jason Haynes. Jason, how are you doing, buddy?
G'day, mate. I'm sweet. I'm excited about today's episode. I've been dying to talk about all the stuff we've seen this week. It's a huge week for Disney Infinity.
We got lots to talk about.
It was a bit of a surprise, wasn't it? It just like came out of nowhere.
Yep, absolutely, yeah. It's cool. I'm excited. We have lots to talk about. So we should probably get things started. But before that, Jason, we're on episode 90. Can you freaking believe that?
90.
90. So that means we're coming up to our 100th episode show. We have big plans for that. Haven't started planning it, but I'm sure the plans are going to be big once Jason figure out what we're going to do 10 episodes from now. But
what it means is we're really good at stalling and talking crap about nothing, clearly.
What are you talking about? We have so much 3.0 news to talk about. You know, the stalling is over.
Totally.
Awesome.
We've never stalled, not one episode. Everyone's good. If you're new to the podcast,
yep.
I wish you'd go back and listen to all 90 episodes.
All of them, starting with this one. And go back, because then it's just going to be like this trip of like, whoa, how far we've come. Yeah. But anyway, we're not looking back. We're looking ahead. I'd like to first say hello to everyone who's joining us in the chat room on this abnormal day and abnormal time. Got lots of good folks in there. Blake's Tarox, Disney Corey, welcome. What's up, Tigga? Good seeing you again. The Ear Daddy Twins, welcome, gentlemen. At least I assume both of you are there. Fantasy Manic, welcome. Griffin. James is back. Infinity Museum. We got Wildlife in there and Starlsea Master among others. So welcome everyone who's joining us. Before we get into the meat of the show, I want to mention that the Inside Infinity podcast is brought to you in partnership with the Disney Infinity Fans Forum. It's DisneyInfinityFans.com, your #1 forum for all things Disney Infinity. Last week we had Sheriff Woody on the round table. So if you haven't listened to that episode, go back and look for it on our YouTube channel or through your podcast player. It was a great show. But anyway, the forums are a great community with lots of good info, community trading, rumors, news, and the like. And I think we're actually going to have Sheriff Woody back on next week's show to talk some top secret news. So that's exciting. So head over to DisneyInfinityFans.com to find out more about them. That, Jason, we got lots to talk about. So let's just go ahead and get things started. First up. So we knew it was happening. Doesn't make this news any less exciting. So we finally got a little bit of insight into how the Power Discs are going to be packaged in 3.0. And not only that, Jason, I don't know about you, but this made me ecstatic. The first kind of preview we got were of a Tomorrowland and Power Disc pack. Or Tomorrowland Power Disc pack.
Yeah.
So what do you think of this? I know you haven't seen the movie yet, but do you like the packaging? So it looks like this is coming with a pack of 4. They're all going to be a pack of 4, and at least this one is going to be two terrain or one terrain, one sky. So the environment packs, and then this one's also including a gun, which is the retro ray gun, and then also the Tomorrowland time bomb, which one is a tool and one looks like a power. So I don't know, man. What do you think about this? You think this
I love it. I love it because, well, apart from the obvious, the fact that we don't have to like play guessing games on what we're buying, but to me, it almost feels like that they're able to give the Power Discs now this almost figure-like identity. Like I love that it's a themed Tomorrowland pack. It's like a way of paying tribute to a franchise or a property without having to go to the full expense of a figure necessarily. So you can only imagine that. Well, I'm guessing this means that they are somewhat going to be forcing the disc into groups of 4. So if you get I don't know, for instance, let's just use Captain EO as an example. If there was a Captain EO power disc, you can imagine that there has to be 4 discs in that same theme in order to release it.
Exactly.
I mean, obviously they could group that into a Disney Parks pack or something like that. But I just like the fact that hopefully they will all have this common theme, and I like that it's you know, even the way it's distributed, that you're getting the round one, a weapon, and then the textured disc. It's just it's a fun pack to buy, so to speak. So I like that concept. As I said, the only downside of this whole thing is how they're going to go as far as you know, whether certain ones will be more popular. Are they going to sell out of the Tomorrowland pack, so it becomes like Amiibos, and it's really hard to track down, and you know what I mean, all that sort of stuff. So we'll wait and see. But I guess if you're a true Infinity fan and right on top of these things and pre-ordering properly, you shouldn't have too much of a trouble getting what you need.
Yep, totally. We will talk more about Power Disc packs and the Power Disc when we start talking about the Toy Box Live episode in the chat, answering the questions in the chat room. So, and even some of the things you just brought up there.
Definitely.
So that news is brought to you here at Infinity Inquirer. So just want to make sure I give proper shout outs to Jason over there at Infinity Inquirer. Cool. Next up, Jason, Game Informer news, and the reason for my amazing lead-in. There's lots of more Game Informer news this week, but the one I want to mention this episode is we finally got some more video of the space combat in 3.0. So this is really kind of cool. It shows off lots of different things. It shows off not only free roaming space combat, but landing and third-person combat, and then also right here we're looking at what's kind of like a trench run, and so it's also going to be an on-rail shooter. So it looks like there's multiple aspects of this. Jason, you got thoughts on this?
Yes. As I was watching it, you know what I was thinking? This looks like Star Fox 64 meets Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy.
It totally does.
And I'm like, that's all sorts of win. Like literally, I'm watching this footage going, this is reskinned Star Fox 64, which is not a bad thing at all. I love the original Star Fox, or any of the Star Fox games I've loved. And putting these, like, I mean, look at that. Literally.
It's straight out of the game.
Literally, they picked up the phone and said, "Can you just send me over all the Star Fox animations, please?" Because we're on a tight schedule. But again, I just think that's a really great. We know that's fun gameplay. That barrel roll, straight. Anyway, I love it. I just can't wait to play it. And I just think this combined, like you look at this footage and then you look back at the footage. Was it last or the previous video, the one that was all about the battle, the lightsaber battle from the other play set, and you immediately recognize that we're getting so many different flavors of gameplay in these play sets, that diversity, there's going to be something for everybody, which is totally cool.
Yeah, I agree. For me, this is like the best possible scenario. I would prefer free roam flight, but I love the cinematic feel of the on-rail section. And then that's great. I didn't even think about the Mario Galaxy stuff. That's totally what it looks like. And from what I've heard, that's a great, fun game. Never played it.
And again, we know that the combat is good, so it's not going to be like which version of Star Fox was it? Is the chat will probably let me know, but there was the version of Star Fox where you did the ground battle, and everyone knows that the ground battle stuff wasn't great compared to the flight stuff. Well, you know that the fighting stuff's going to be top notch as well. So, as I said, it can only be a win-win, and totally excited for it.
Totally. Yep, really exciting. Can't wait to get that. So, Jason, I want to just mention one other thing. There's another video that came out. It was called "Animating" or "Skywalking with Giants: Animating Disney Infinity," and it's another kind of vid doc, and it's about 5 minutes. But I wanted to bring up the thing that I think you're the most excited about, and that's in this scene right here.
The teacup.
The freaking teacup.
Like, seriously.
And you're saying...
We already know that there's good Disney Parks stuff coming in this game, but to see the quality, like, I mean, these guys are just nailing it when it comes to animation, aren't they? Animation and sound, they are just nailing the, what's the word, the vibe / ethos of whatever it is they're doing. They are just nailing it. And if that video talks about, there's something like 20,000 individual animations on the disc for all the different characters and stuff like that. Crazy. What a body of work. I just love it. Just again, that attention to detail is just incredible.
Yep. Really exciting stuff. It's great seeing another theme park item there, and can't wait to see the smoothness.
I also wanted to say, in reference to the when you said that you prefer open space battle type thing, that's what the Toy Box is going to bring us. Not only is the Toy Box going to bring us open world flight, but 4-player online.
I hope so.
Open world flight. Like, that's incredibly exciting that we could create our own Disney Infinity X-Wing squadron. My mind boggles when I was talking to someone the other day and I had this idea, and again, I don't know if this is possible, but imagine if we could make a 4-player online toy box that's all about, do you remember the old game Descent?
Oh, yeah.
We could have a space battle, we could build trenches and have, like, you know, online shooting competitions inside trenches. Like, imagine how cool that would be.
That'd be so
chasing each other through. Anyway, that's a whole other thing.
Well,
but the Toy Box theoretically is going to be incredible opportunity to create our own stories for flight games of flight and stuff. But we won't know until we see more specifics on toys and what we can and can't do as far as that's concerned.
But it's
super exciting.
Yeah,
totally.
Hopefully that would be awesome. Yeah, James Infinity Museum was saying reminds him of the Rogue Squadron games on GameCube, and that's totally. I didn't even think about that either. My thought went to Star Fox as well, but the Rogue Squadron games were really, really good also.
Also, before we move on from the Game Informer videos, I was thinking about this morning, and quite honestly, like, I would love. Have you seen the Double Fine production video documentary on the making of what's it called, their Kickstarter project?
Nope.
I backed it. I can't remember it. Totally blank. Someone in the chat will let us know.
Yeah, I know the developer. I don't know what game you're talking about though.
Broken Age. That's it.
Yeah,
Broken Age. Broken Age again. I love the documentary. I believe it's all available on YouTube for anyone now that they've made it open to everyone. Definitely check it out. But in my opinion, Disney should be doing the exact same thing in Avalanche, because I love the Game Informer videos because we're getting to see the guys who are actually making the game. Don't get me wrong, Toy Box TV is cool, but those guys that we see on camera are all in the PR sort of side of things, producing role. They're sort of, that's another great story, and I love that we get to see them, but I love seeing the guys that are actually behind it all. The ones about the figures and all that sort of stuff, it's been a great experience to see it, and I would hope, because something I might touch on later and maybe in a future roundtable, is I do think that Disney Infinity, even more so now that I've seen this footage, is redefining or building a brand new gaming model / platform. I don't think it can be classed as any other video game. They are really breaking new ground on how to make money with a game, but how to make money with a game without making you feel like you're ripping off or mining your customer base.
Yeah.
And I feel like that should be documented, because some of the stuff we've seen, and I'll gush about that later, the people that are behind those decisions, I think, should be front and center. We should be at very least documenting what they've done, and I would find that incredibly entertaining. So Disney, if you're not doing that yet, hire someone to be creating behind the scenes documentaries and do the whole fuzz out the screen so we don't see stuff. But I would love to see that as a regular series, something maybe they could air after Toy Box TV Live or something like that. But I want to hear from the guys, and I understand that they're super busy at the moment making the game.
Right.
But, like, I don't even know, tweet at me. If you're listening, if you're working at Avalanche right now, I want you to tweet at me. Is my Twitter there? Yeah, at Jason Haynes. Make yourself known to me, because personally I'd like to give back. I would like to tweet at you on a regular basis saying you're doing an awesome job. Don't you think?
Yeah,
I think our whole community would like to give back, and, like, in this age where it must be super frustrating for them because they're working incredibly late hours and they can't show any of their cool stuff because PR have got them in handcuffs. At least let us give you some encouragement and a pep talk to keep going, because I think they're doing an incredible job.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. That's a great idea, Jason.
I don't know. I would love to hear their thoughts. They're clearly, like, the guy, I can't remember his name, but whoever that was talking about the animation, clearly loves his job, and I want to hear more of it.
Totally.
It only helps their game if we can put a face to the people that are building it. And with that, continue on.
Great. No, that's great. Great, Jason.
Yes, tweet at me and I will make it known. We want to know who you are, team. I don't even know if Avalanche themselves have a direct Twitter. If Avalanche has a Twitter, let it be known. Tweet at me so we can tweet back at you as a community and say you're doing a great job.
I know the Studio Gobo guys do have a Twitter, and they mention us, and we retweet their stuff on occasion.
I need to tweet at them more. And Ninja Theory. We should be tweeting all those guys. We want to know them, and we want to tweet at them and saying you are making history. Keep it up.
Great. Awesome, Jason. Could not agree more, man. I want to see what happens with that. So tweet Jason that info.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's continue on, Jason. So last week there was a pre-E3 event, both here in the States and in the UK. I think the States one has happened. Maybe it hasn't. But anyway, FamilyGamerTV, their YouTube.com, or YouTube is youtube.com/FamilyGamerTV, was there. And they showed off quite a bit of things. First up here, we have the Toy Box Takeover. So, Jason, I'm going to just kind of roll through these things, and you please let me know what you want me to kind of stop on. So, Toy Box Takeover is being developed by Avalanche. I assume they're still developing it. Maybe they're finished. But anyway, this is what it is, and it's, you know what it is, does seem like it's an evolution of the Escape from the Kiln game.
But with more scripted. It's more scripted, which is cool.
Totally. Yeah. So I love the fact that I'm seeing seams here on the ground that are from the pieces. I mean, here you can see this is a square that's a toy box, but at the same time, if we back it up a few minutes or we go a little bit further, we see these scripted events. So it's kind of like a combination between the toy box and
that's it. And it's unclear of how much of this will make it into the toy box. I mean, it's not inconceivable that there might be a wall that can have a scripted event like that.
Yeah.
But this just looks so much more. I mean, the problem with the last one was, and I believe they mentioned in this video, that there's fixed levels that are like, this is a version of fixed level, but there is also a random, procedurally generated version of this game mode as well. This looks 100 times more entertaining than what the kiln. And the kiln was good, but it was just very one-dimensional and looked very the same. It wasn't that interesting. Whereas this, I believe, has many different themes, and this is particularly the pirates. One,
which is I freaking love the Pirates playset, and if I can get anything that's reminiscent of that, I think it's cool.
And this Flying Dutchman coming up is just mind-blowing, like so cool.
So before we get to that, this showed off a bit of the improvements of the sidekick and how they not only help you, but they also are used to unlock items in the game. And here you go, Jason. I hope we get this in the toy box. Please give us the Flying Dutchman.
Definitely.
So here you actually shoot your sidekick onto the Flying Dutchman, and then he brings it in and crashes it. So I don't know, Jason. Like, here's a cannon platform similar to what's on the shipwrecks.
I'm sure we'll get a version that's similar. I doubt we'll be able to make it move like that. I'm sure that's one of the elements that are tied to this game mode. But boy, I tell you what, like, on the sidekicks alone, I'm already, like, I've famously been dead against sidekicks. Like, not so much the sidekicks, but just the townsperson in general. Just the whole look of them, and I thought they were utterly useless, and I thought I hated them for use in the toy box. I thought what's the point of these sidekicks / townsperson when we've got, what's the other one, cast members? It's never made sense to me. But when I see it in that context, and the fact that I know that we can be upgrading them through the farming system, now I start to think of them more like pets.
Right.
And the idea of having a pet Robin Hood, that begins to excite me.
Yeah.
Like that almost takes on that flavor of almost Pokemon style. If I can have a few sidekicks that are like always by my side and helping me out in toy boxes, that's starting to sound pretty cool. And it plays better into that style of art because now I'm not thinking of it as the full-blown Robin Hood figure, but it's just my pet Robin Hood sidekick.
Yep.
And that demoed it beautifully, that if I can go into experiences like that and use that sidekick, sweet.
Totally. Yeah, man, I couldn't agree more. I'm glad to see some actual usefulness with them because I could care less about them in their current state.
Yeah, totally.
Anything else, or should we move on to the Speedway?
Let's move on. Lots to talk about.
All right, Toy Box Speedway. So we got more info. We've seen some video about the Toy Box Speedway, but this is actually one of the devs was speaking to the guys at Family Gamer from Sumo, so they gave us a little bit of insight into kind of the process of creating this.
Yeah.
I don't know. The one thing I wanted to really pinpoint in this, Jason, is that the Sumo guy said specifically that although there are aspects of the Toy Box game, of Toy Box Speedway that you cannot recreate, you can for the most part recreate much of it, which we speculated when we actually broke down or mentioned it in one of the videos a couple weeks ago. So that was a takeaway here.
And
but then
can I just say that I can't believe how much Disney are nailing it with this game. What was the one complaint with Star Wars Battlefront? No space battles. What did Disney bring? Space battles.
Right.
What was the biggest complaint with Mario Kart on the Wii U? That the battle mode sucked. What do they show here? Epic battle mode capabilities.
Totally.
Like, this is the one that I'm like, looking at it, it's hard to tell. You have to feel the kart racing to be able to really, how much better is it? Because when you look at it, it doesn't look markedly better to me.
That's my thought exactly. And
control-wise,
I'm very much keeping an open mind on it because, like you said, you can't really tell, I don't think, unless you have it in hand.
Yeah.
Starsley Master 5 is saying, more stunt parks? Shut up and take my money. So I guess they're a fan of the...
Well, it doesn't make sense. Like, is that Toy Box footage? Because, like, it doesn't make sense. Does that mean that this kart mode has a stunt park as part of it? Or is it just racetracks?
I want to say that that he mentions in the video that it's kind of a speedway hub. So if I bring up this screen again, you get to see some of the tracks. So it looks like he initiated the track. So I assume this is the area you get when you pop the disc down on the base, and then you go up to these things here to choose what you want to do.
Right. What game was it? I played a kart racer recently. Oh, it was that one on PlayStation, the custom kart one.
Little Big Planet.
Yeah, no, before that, the one that was like that. But anyway, it was the one before that. That was all Mod Racer. That had a hub world that you drove around in before selecting your races and stuff like that. Okay, that's cool.
So another really cool fact that you just reminded me of, Sumo Digital, the people behind this and behind the Sega All-Star Racing, they also did Little Big Planet 3. So they are well versed in the world of game creation, like user created games. Jason, some of these tracks are awesome, and I cannot wait to see what we get out of them. So, Agrabah Raceway, San Francisco Circuit, Arendelle, Gravity Falls. Hopefully, we get more Gravity Falls. Road to Nowhere, Monsters Mayhem, which we've heard and read about, taking place in the Door Factory, Dunes of Tatooine, and Halloween Town. You know, this is the one they actually play, and this just melts my little heart. I see all these really cool things, and
oh, dude, I know. My only caveat with this one is, like, I'm okay with it. I've said in the past that I don't understand why you'd be splitting, like, why create a kart racer game disc, but then also you want to promote the fact that you can build your own tracks in the toy box, right?
Right.
My only caveat to that, as long as they carry forward with this, because as you said, you look at the track selection there and it's awesome, but as long as when 4.0 comes out, there's still a kart racer game disc, or you can use the one that you bought in 3.0, if you know what I mean. because then it becomes like what Disney Infinity is with playsets, the opportunity to bring out a whole host of new tracks that are based on the franchises that came out in the last 12 months. You know what I mean? So like they could have a Tomorrowland racetrack, they could have all this, and then all of a sudden we've got an ever-evolving, really cool kart racer with ever-expanding vehicles, characters, and tracks.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if they continue to polish the kart racing mechanics, there's no reason why this can't be as good, if not better, than what Mario Kart is. Because let's face it, Mario Kart, while awesome, is very one-dimensional as far as themes because they rehash the same themes each game, whereas this has the opportunity to be ever-expanding as far as the different tracks and so on. So that's cool.
Agreed. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully. I kind of do get the feeling that Disney Infinity sometimes throws the spaghetti on the wall and sees what sticks, and hopefully this is not one of those events, and that we don't invest in the kart racer now. Granted, you know, some of the technology that they're working on will carry forward into future versions of the game, but yeah, I dig the idea. If you want to take a diversion and not build in the toy box and have some fun kart racing action, you have that option, and hopefully that carries forward.
Totally.
Cool. All right. Well, anything else about the Toy Box Speedway, Jason?
No, super excited. What can I say? Right. Moving on.
Here's my my favorite video of the Family Gamer TV videos, showing off the Toy Box Hub. We actually discussed it in a still screen last week, and we got some video of it here. So here's Flynn's Arcade. So that is going to be an area where I think you can... I don't remember specifically. I think you're going to be able to download Toy Box games from there, but that might be at the El Capitan because I know that they're also shown there.
Yeah, I know what it is, but I don't think I can say what it is.
Okay. All right. Well, then
I'll tell you what, after the show.
Perfect.
But definitely the El Capitan is definitely the one where we're going to be showing the toy boxes, showing off all of our toy boxes, which is awesome.
That and also Toy Box TV each week. You'll be able to go
in
there.
And has it been announced if Disney Infinity TV is going to be playable in there yet or not?
You know what? I have not heard. No, but I think
they must still be working on it. They must be.
Right. Definitely think that's something they need to get working.
I think they're going to install a screen right above the Disney Infinity logo there, and it's just going to stream constantly. I think that's what the plan is, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Right? Yeah, that's what would make the most sense.
Makes sense. Absolutely.
So here you can see much of the hub world is still locked, and as Sam goes up to these characters, here he's going up to Woody, and as you can see kind of in the background, this opens up the farming area, which is really cool. I really dig how this is kind of one... I was worried, Jason, from that top-down view that we saw, that you're going to have to load into each of these different areas, but it looks like you can just go to them as you wish.
Yeah, I know, and I love this whole colored effect, how it's white and then the color fills it in, and again, like, I don't know how much has been revealed about this hub world, but there's a lot of cool things that, again, hopefully we'll be able to talk about maybe next week, but I love it. Like, it's really good, and I agree that top-down view, I think, didn't make it look very inspiring. There's something about that top-down view that's like, it just looks like a hodgepodge of just, toys on a thing. But I think when you see it in this perspective, it makes a lot more sense.
Totally. And it's cool seeing all the different connected worlds. It almost gives a theme park vibe in a way.
This is the thing. They had to do something to make it feel like a singular product, and I think that's what they've done here. Like, it's brought a connectedness to the whole experience, and you're right, to me it feels like a theme park. They've gone for that hub and spoke vibe, so that theoretically you'll load into this when you start up the game, and it's like, cool, I'm in the world of Disney Infinity now. What do I want to do today?
Yeah,
perfect.
So when I saw this part, Jason, did you squeal like a little schoolboy?
I confirmed that we're getting an indoor sky texture, because there it is.
Yeah,
like,
good point.
Sky Dome, and yes, I'm like, actually, like, for once, a world that platforming actually makes sense.
Literally built for platforming, and the treehouse assets. It's like, it just comes together.
Cannot wait. Someone, and I'm tipping it's going to be one of the amazing Toy Box artists, is going to make the best indoor like place to play. And although still no sight of an Ewok, that's my only concern.
Oh, there's freaking town people are basically Ewoks with people.
Well, I'm just saying, until I see one, I'm not resting. But this footage, I mean, look at all. I mean, we probably should have done a frame by frame back down, because I mean the stuff that's in that ribbon is so exciting. I mean, there's the castle from Frozen, Elsa's castle. There's the bridge from Sleepy Hollow. Like, there's really cool Disney stuff in that ribbon. That lighthouse. I'm not sure if it's the lighthouse from Pete's Dragon or not, but it's a lighthouse. I can't think of any other lighthouse from a Disney property. But oh yeah, Merlin's Tower.
Yeah.
But then all this really cool Star Wars stuff, like the Rancor pit, the AT-AT.
Oh, look at that. Splash Mountain.
Splash Mountain?
That's awesome. I'm trying to do a pause at each one of these. So
like, it's so exciting. So exciting. Just like, it's all about, like, for us Toy Box builders, it's all about just launching into the toy store day one and seeing all the cool stuff to unlock and so on. It's going to be amazing.
Here's Sleepy Hollow's bridge. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we might have to break down at least these.
And what we don't know, we're hoping for more interactivity between the set pieces this year. And I can't imagine that AT-AT is forced to have its doors open like that. Yeah. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to close those doors. But what a lot of fun it is just playing with those toys. And it looks amazing. You can see that you can clearly climb the legs.
Yeah.
Which is what you're supposed to be able to do in the play set. So, yeah. Super pumped.
So cool. So cool. So yeah, so that's the Toy Box Hub and some new set pieces. Anything else about this, Jason?
No, not off the top of my head.
No. Okay. Yeah, there's just a lot to talk about. So this is not our footage. This is Family Gamer TV on YouTube. So make sure you check them out. Last thing I wanted to mention, Jason, and I wonder if we should. We'll wait for an in-depth, because I think we'll be talking about with Tiga next week. But they showed off the figures. Family Gamer TV showed off the figures for a lot of the Disney characters and the Star Wars characters. They discussed the Inside Out figures, and JV mentioned that the Inside Out playset is going to be 2.5D platformers. So along the lines,
I didn't remember seeing that bit.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, I'm disappointed in that personally, because I'm not a 2D platformer. But I hear Rayman Legends, the newest Rayman game, is really good. There's another Xbox platformer that got really good reviews. So,
but on the bright side, it again adds to that diversity as far as a playset's concerned. You've got a space shooter, you've got an action fighter, and now a 2.5D experience, which also he mentioned, which sounds super cool, that this is actually a sequel to the film.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's not a retelling of the Inside Out story, which is supposedly amazing, but they actually crafted an actual story that would make sense in a playset, and they're sort of officially the sequel to the film, or a sequel to the film. So again, love that it's not a rehashing of the same story. And if you're going to be really into Inside Out, you're getting additional content and story in that world, which is awesome.
Totally. And JV mentioned that, they want to broaden the gameplay in Disney Infinity, and this is one of the ways they're doing that, which is great. I mean, I'm for that. I'm for that variety. Cool. All right, Jason. Well, do you want to move on to Toy Box TV Live?
Yep, sure.
All right, we'll run through this real quick. So, as always, the recap is brought to you by DizKingdom.com. We're looking at their website here. Going to go over this pretty quickly. It was a pretty I don't know, not a whole lot going on this episode. One thing that they did do, Jason, though, is that they played yours and Pirate Steven's toy box, because they went through the Tomorrowland and Adventureland challenge boxes, so that was really cool.
And the Star Wars, and they both worked flawlessly, which was really nice.
Awesome. I'm gonna straight up and say it. I haven't had time to watch it this week, so I was busy during the live stream, so I gotta go back. They mentioned the Tomorrowland disc. They also said no blind bags anymore for 3.0. Well, they're all going to be in 4-packs. So back to what you were saying earlier, Jason, it sounds like that you're going to get a 4-pack no matter what, and who knows if they're going to be all themed in 4-packs or not. So cool. Costume disc will be back. So that's exciting. No more rare power disc. So they are changing into something special, which they'll reveal at a later date. So that's intriguing. Do you have any idea?
Yes, I'm going to hold you right there. This is an interesting brief conversation that we need to have. It is based on the way it was said. I'm almost positive this means there's going to be park exclusive power discs, or not necessarily park exclusive, but I think the rare power disc will be tied to special release information. And if I had to guess, I'm thinking probably one of the first examples we'll see of this, because I've been racking my mind about this this Disney Cruise exclusive. I was thinking, how do they do it? And we were discussing about how it could be the Disney Cruise magic bands. But then I was thinking, what? No, it's going to be a power disc. I guarantee you that there will be a rare Disney Infinity power disc that will be the cruise ship. We know they've mentioned the fact that there is a cruise ship vehicle, and I thought, how do you distribute that? And then I thought this morning, I bet it's a power disc.
That's awesome. Which
makes that about a $6,000 to $10,000 power disc for me to get. And for yourself, Will, you're going to have to start production on children immediately in order to get this, because the only way you're going to get this power disc, I imagine, is by putting kids into the Adventure Club or whatever it's called, and each of them will get a disc. So thankfully, I've had 3 children, so I'll get
Can I borrow
3
one?
of them. No, but you can buy one for around $2,500 if you'd like. If you're willing to fund my trip to a Disney cruise, that's fine. But I think that's totally what they're going to make the rares. Literally being rare discs, meaning that you have to go to a certain event, attend a certain thing in order to get these discs. Now, the question is, if they do that, what do you think about it? As someone who has no kids, even if you went on a cruise, you're not getting this disc. Unless you buy it off eBay off me for $2,500.
So I'm really torn on this, because it's part of the Disney culture to have Disney theme park, for lack of better terms, Disney theme park exclusives. So I don't know. I don't know. Heck, in some ways, this might be easier for some people than the rare power disc.
I like the fact that it's a legitimate rare. Let me put it that way. And I think if you're not a completionist, you're not going to care necessarily. I mean, I haven't completed my 2.0 power disc collection. I'm not that stressed about it. I mean, it's distressing to me that if they put really cool content locked to a rare, that you're like, oh, I really, really, really want that, but if I want it, I have to either pay a lot for it on eBay or say go do the certain thing. But I kind of want them to do it. I've been, as long as it's all just Disney park stuff, because that's screwing off your entire international audience. By putting a huge barrier to go to Disney parks to get these exclusives. But as long as it's spread around, like, I'm okay with tying it to giveaway power disc with the release of a film. Like make a Star Wars exclusive power disc that you can only get by going and seeing The Force Awakens.
That would be awesome.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm happy with rares like that. I don't know. I think it's kind of where I want it to go quietly, but at the same time, I can also see how that'd be frustrating.
Yeah, it looks like for the most part, the chat is not happy with that idea. Boondog Man, though, is saying that I wouldn't care. Power disc of a cruise ship is overrated.
You could not be more wrong, Boondog Man. Could not be more wrong. I cannot wait to see that vehicle in action. And I'm positive it will be my go-to vehicle in the kart racer.
That's amazing.
When I do get it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's a great point, Jason. I was going to skip right over that, so I'm glad you paused this there.
Yeah, I think that's totally where it's going. I think that's what rares are going to be, that they will be exclusively tied to events, parks and thingos and effectively become, in true sense of the word, actual rares.
Yeah.
It's just a question of like, it's controversial because the fact that the content is on the disc and you're potentially locking it away from, from being used by the vast majority unless they get these particular discs.
Yeah.
So, but maybe they'll be nice and have, for international people, it's like, well, yes, clearly it's a bit of an ask for you to get you on a Disney cruise, so
right. You get a patch instead.
You can pre-order it, or who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see, I guess.
We'll see.
I'm sure they're going to be very delicate with that.
Yeah.
Last few items here. 1.0 and 2.0 disc may or may not be introduced in clear packaging in the future. And, of course, 1.0 and 2.0 power disc will be forward compatible. Not really
They
a question
absolutely
about that.
need to do that. They absolutely need, and I think they probably will. Because what a better way to distribute it. In fact, if I were them, I wouldn't do it in 4 packs. I'd literally just release in like maybe 3 total packs that you buy them in packs 10.
That's a good idea.
10 discs in a pack, 1.0 and 2.0 discs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool, Jason. Well, that's the news of the week. That was a lot of news, and we even skipped over a little bit. We just kind of hit the big points.
Yeah, we haven't even hit E3 yet. It's amazing.
It's nuts. And like I said, I think we're gonna have Sheriff Woody, because he was actually at this pre-E3 event last week, on this this coming week, because I think there's gonna be some news incoming. So stay tuned on the time of that episode. Again, it will probably be on a Sunday morning. My time, and so stay tuned for that for all of your different time zones. Jason, I'm just getting more and more excited each episode we have.
I know. I just, in overall, when I watched that footage, the one thought I came away with was, I can't believe how different the game looks for only 1 year of development. And just how well it's coming together. It is more and more looking like a complete package. It's not looking like a disjointed, as you said, like throwing spaghetti on the wall. It is clearly starting to take shape as a singular platform that is becoming more and more convincing the more and more I see of it. I mean, we've just talked about incredible diversity as far as playset gameplay is concerned, and the fact that hub looks like it's going to finally tie together the experience of the playset and the toy box. Yeah, it is. They're doing such great work, and it can only get way better from here.
Totally, cannot wait. We're gonna make sure that we bring you the news each week as we hear it too, and have a lengthy discussion on it.
Yeah.
Jason, thanks, buddy. I think we're done today, but you're going to be live streaming in just a little bit, huh? And I think I'm going to join you a little bit for that. So, how soon are you going live with that? Right after the show, or in just a little bit?
I'll probably take about a 10-minute break after we go live, and then I'll go have some more Vegemite toast, and then I'll get on the stream and start building some more in the toy box.
Perfect. I think I'll be joining you a little bit later on that too. So if you want to keep listening to us jabber on, then stay tuned to our Twitch. Jason, thanks, man. This was a good good episode.
It was. I said I can't wait for E3. Like, I'm devastated we can't be there personally, but we're going to have our guy there, and Caesar will do us proud. And but I can't wait to get my hands on. I'm looking forward to hearing Tigger's experience. He's clearly had a bit more hands-on, hopefully, because I'm looking forward to hearing from the layman how tightened up these controls are.
Definitely. Awesome, buddy. Well, thanks everyone who watched us live on Twitch. You can do that each and every week. Twitch.tv/DisneyInfinityTV. We appreciate seeing everyone on this abnormal time. I think that's going to wrap it up for today. Stay tuned on our Twitch channel and check out Jason's live streams. And we will be back next week. But until then, we hope your week is filled with infinite possibilities.